Hi, I'm Dr. Adam, one of the coaches at ASC Performance. Thanks for inquiring about online coaching. Today, we're going to go over a bit about us, a bit about what online coaching is, who we work with, how online coaching works, the difference between our different options, and then how you can actually get started if you decide it is something that's right for you. So a bit of background on us. This is a bit that we don't particularly like talking about, but on screen I've put up a list of our various qualifications and things that we've done, and on the next screen I've put a bit about what training, what lifting stuff we've actually done, because that's what makes a good coach, right? If you want to read more information about us, if you head over to our website in the About Us section, and there's lots more stuff, but I don't really want to keep talking about myself for today, so let's move on with the video. So what is online coaching? Essentially, it's a method by which we get you towards your results as quickly and efficiently as possible. Now, it's done remotely, so everything is digital, so you can access us from your phone, your tablet, your computer. It means that you don't physically have to be with us to get the most out of your training and nutrition. From an accountability perspective, we make sure you're doing the things that you should be to get you towards your goals. We stop you from making the silly mistakes like changing your program every 2 minutes or 3 minutes, and we can remove the emotional elements from what training or nutrition program you should be doing. As an outside objective person, we can say, right, this is the best thing for your situation. We make sure you actually get it done. We like to think we've got a great community of like-minded people, and so we've got a good support network to make sure that you are getting the right sort of information at the right times, and you're getting help, whether that's with fitting in training around work or meal prep or figuring out what foods you tend to agree with, don't agree with, stuff like that, and just making sure that you feel supported all the way through the process, whether you're a complete beginner or a more advanced athlete. What support looks like to you is obviously going to be very different. If you're brand new to training, it might be learning how to squat. If you've been training for 10, 15 years, it might be getting your squat from 300 to 320 kilos. So we've got different levels of support depending on where you are on your journey. So clarity is an important thing to us. We want to make sure you're doing the right things at the right time and cut out all the fluff and all the nonsense. Now, you could make your own mistakes and learn from them, but to be honest, to make all the mistakes that you need to in health and fitness, it's going to take you years. I know it certainly took me years to figure out what was finally the most important things to be doing. Instead of spending all that time yourself making mistakes, we'll just give you the answers and make sure you're working on the right things so that you're definitely making progress. What that means is you can stop worrying about the minutiae of should you do 3 sets of 10 or 4 sets of 8? Answer is both. Or should you actually just focus on getting nutrition right, getting in the gym regularly and training and working from that perspective? We'll help you delineate the useful information versus the trivial information that doesn't really move the needle and actually get you towards your goals. A big part of online coaching is making sure that you're actually hitting your short, medium and long-term goals and not just spinning your wheels. And those people, when you go to a gym and year after year after year, they're doing the exact same thing and they're not getting any more results. Now, we all know that famous Einstein quote about the definition of insanity, repeating the same thing over and over and expecting different results. We want to make sure you're making progress. Be that with it nutrition, with training, with lifestyle. At the end of the day, progress is what you want out of health and fitness. And then the second caveat to that is for it to be sustainable. Anybody can do a crash diet and lose half a stone or a stone in a month or so, but then when they finish that, they regain it all. There's a reason why most diets fail. It's not that the diet fails, it's the sustainability, it's the long-term progress that fails. What we need to do, if you've ever read the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, it's fantastic. If you've not, I'd recommend you pick up a copy. Basically, we need to develop the habits that the person who is the type of person you want to be has. And then over time, we move you from where you are to where that person is. So if at the minute you're someone who doesn't do any exercise, you're not mindful of your food or your sleep or anything like that, you're not going to be heading in the direction that you want to be. Now, if you are the type of person that is aware of the food that they're putting in their body, they know what's in different foods, they're training hard, they understand some principles behind health and nutrition, eventually your physique and your strength is going to match up with that second person. It's about sustainably building these habits so that you lose the weight or you gain the strength, and then you come into a soft landing and it becomes a sustainable long-term thing. We also like to teach principles and systems so that if, for example, you decide you need to lose a few kilos, upcoming holiday on an event or something like that, you can switch the tap on and off, and we want it to be something that you learn and then you can use yourself in the future. We want to teach you the process by which you can manipulate your body or get stronger or whatever it is. Then when you're at that point, it's then up to you to be able to choose when you do that or don't do that. So we work together to make sure you've got the tools to make that sustainable for your lifestyle. Now, obviously that's going to be very different from someone who's at university and maybe they've got 3 hours a day to spend in the gym versus someone who's only got half an hour twice a week. Now, we're going to work together to figure out what those sustainable practices are for you on an individual basis. And you'll find you'll be able to learn a lot from other clients of ours in our community area, Facebook group and the membership website, and you'll be able to see what other people have done and pick up some tips along the way that way too. We're going to educate you on why you're doing what you're doing. The majority of this education is optional. So for example, if you come to me and you say, look, Adam, just tell me how much weight to lift, how often, so that I can improve my bench press. I will absolutely give you the answers and the numbers, but also I'll give you access to the information which is telling you why you're doing that. So why have we got you doing a close grip bench as an accessory? Why have we got you doing a wide grip bench? Why this, that and the other? Why do we need more protein? Why do we monitor our calories? We cover all this sort of stuff inside the members area. The members area is constantly evolving and expanding, and we're adding more information. As one of our clients, you get the opportunity to shape the type of content that we're putting in there and ask the questions that are important to you, and then we'll do our best to make the best possible answer that we can for that, so that then it's a resource for you to use as a client and then longer term into the future. And then the next part is we want you to stay healthy and injury free. It sounds silly and it's something that's not talked about a lot, but my background with exercise, judo and then powerlifting. The biggest thing with powerlifting that I see is the people who do the best are the ones that stay the healthiest the longest. So anyone can run themselves into a ground with a really hard training program and then they get injured and then they spend 6 months off and then they start again, and it becomes this perpetual cycle of getting injured, then starting again, then rebuilding, then getting injured. We don't want to do that. We want to cut that out from the off, make some sustainable, healthy practices that are going to help you longer term and keep you progressing over the weeks and months and years. There's no point in doing all that hard work in the gym, in the kitchen, and then getting hurt. Obviously, there's risks involved with different exercise and whatnot, but we still want it to get the most out of the exercise without putting ourselves in a risky position. Now, a risky position might be bad technique, it might be too much work, it might be not enough work. It's going to vary again on an individual basis. And then from a health perspective, it's all well and good if you look good, if you can lift all the weights, but if you get out of breath walking up the stairs, that's not sustainable and it's not good for your health long term. So obviously with my background of being a doctor, health is a big component of something that we advocate. We need to make sure that your progress is done in a healthy way as well. So there's no like mass gain, bulking type diets where you're going to gain 15 kilos in 2 months or anything silly like that. Everything is measured and towards your goals, whilst also having the underpinning fundamentals of being a healthy person first. So we make sure you're healthy first, we don't want you in pain, and then your goals are layered in on top of that. So whether your goal is powerlifting to look a bit better naked, or if it is 100% in a health perspective, your general overall health is very important to us. So that's why we go on about it so much. Now, what healthy looks like is going to be different for each of us. So using the powerlifter, for example, they might need more work capacity. If they've got more work capacity, their heart health is better, their cholesterol will be better, their blood pressure will be better, and a myriad of other things. Whereas for a runner, it might be that they need more muscle mass in their lower legs to protect their knees. They get knee pain when they do a lot of running. What that specific healthy is for you is going to be individual. So we work together to figure out what that is for you. That could be looking at specific technique issues. It could be looking at what particular foods bother you and don't bother you. It could be looking at sleep habits, routines, that sort of things. It's going to vary on an individual basis. So if you're thinking, right, this sounds great, who do you actually work with? We've kind of got 3 main groups of people. Most people's goals fit within one of the 3. The people that we tend to work with the most generally have the goal of getting stronger and looking better naked. We don't tend to want to say that very often, but at the end of the day, that's what most people go into the gym and want. So you want to feel a bit stronger, so in normal daily life, just tasks are easier. And also you want to be pain-free. Being stronger is going to help you from a pain-free perspective, and looking a bit better naked is going to help you feel more confident. You're going to just generally feel better in your skin. For some people, that means they need to lose fat. For some people, it's building a bit of muscle. Obviously, that's going to be individual dependent. Our next biggest cohort of people are people looking to compete in or just training for powerlifting. With that being my main background, that tends to be what quite a lot of our clients are working towards. And then finally, we've got people that are just looking to optimize their health. So from a medical perspective, you might be someone with diabetes and we're looking to get you off medication, or it might be blood pressure issues, or we've worked with people with spinal cord injuries and various other medical issues where perhaps you need a little bit more hands-on tweaking, where the point of typical medicine tends to end. You need a bridging gap from the end of your medical treatment to rehabilitation back into normal life. We don't want you to just get back to normal, we want you to be thriving. Everyone has to do certain things, so rather than just get through them, so everyone needs to sleep, everyone needs to eat, everyone needs to move. Rather than just do them at the bare minimum of human functioning, we want you to thrive in them. We want you to, when you've torn your quad, when you do your rehab, we don't want you to come back to being able to walk, we want you to come back to be able to do a single leg squat on it. So you imagine how much better your quality of life is when you can move your body freely without having to think about the consequences of having another injury or another accident. So those are the three type of people we tend to work with. Often we tend to find that all three roll into one. It usually ends up being where we've got the health and the getting stronger and looking better naked tend to be the biggest bulk of our clients, and then we've got powerlifters like a subsection on top of that who also benefit from those goals. So these tend to be the goals that we work with most often. Now, if you do have different goals, obviously we can speak to you about that and see if that's something that we can help you with. What I will say is, if we're not confident we can help you with a specific goal, we will refer you to someone else who's going to be more suited to that. So for example, full disclosure, if it came to running an Ironman triathlon, I would not be the coach for you because I don't have a lot of experience in that myself. And whilst I understand the basics, I'm not an expert in that field. So it wouldn't feel right me coaching someone to do something that I haven't done. Whereas the other things I have gone through and Rachel's gone through, and we've put various clients through over the years. What I should say is there are some people that we don't work with. So we're not looking for people who want a short-term fix. All of the programs and the protocols we put in place are for long-term change. So if you're just looking for a fad diet or training program or like a 3 weeks to 6-pack or something like that, we're not the place for you. If you want to do something like that, you're better off watching a commercial on TV and wasting your money on something like that. We only want people who are looking to invest in themselves and long-term progress. If you're not willing to change your training style and you're not open to any sort of criticisms or change on technique, then we're probably not the place for you, because that's something we pay a lot of attention to. And as well, we're looking for feedback from you. It needs to be a two-way communication. If we don't know how you're responding to your training, for example, we don't know how to adjust it. So it's a two-way street. We need you to be someone who's interested in their health and fitness goals, and then we can help you get the most out of it. Now, obviously there's also a financial commitment as well. So we don't want you coming to us if you think you're going to be struggling to pay. That's completely fine, but we don't want you to be stressing about paying us. If you are in a difficult position, get in touch with us anyway, and we'll see if there's something else that we can recommend for you, or maybe we can put you in touch with someone else that could help you instead. So how does it actually work from a mechanical perspective? What would happen is you would sign up, you go through our sign up form, and gives us lots of information about you, your background, your goals, that sort of stuff. We then will give you your training program via Google Sheets. So what that means is that we can both access it, we can both see it in live real time. You'll also then have access to our membership website, which has got various different training materials, different modules about education for different things to do with health, training, nutrition, and that sort of stuff. And then our Facebook group, where there's a nice community feel, people regularly sharing their wins and progress and stuff like that. And then each week you'll check in with us. There'll be some accountability exercises to do, so we know how you're getting on, and then we'll adjust things from there, whether it be that we need to change your training, whether it be an update to your nutrition, or just that, well done, you've done great, keep doing the same thing next week. It's going to vary again based on what option you've got. What I'll do is I'll put up a picture from our client trackers with an information on how we like you to check in and what sort of check-ins we need you to do. So on a weekly basis, what we're going to do is update your program. We're going to update your nutrition protocol if we need to. There's going to be some educational material released. Obviously, it depends on what stage in your health and fitness career you're at as to what information will be useful. So we'll tailor that to what level you're at. There'll be access to other programs inside of our members area, and there'll be video feedback when there's appropriate. And sometimes there'll be video calls. It depends on what coaching membership you're at as to whether you get video calls or text calls or that sort of thing. Our online coaching has two main options at the time of making this video. So one is our team coaching, and that's the most common option, what most people tend to go for. With that, you get weekly feedback, your training, nutrition, that sort of stuff. Your check-ins are in a group-based setting. All that means is that other people can see how you're getting on as well, and it works in a positive manner because there's that positive feedback of other people seeing what you're doing. It helps keep you accountable to make sure you're making progress. Now, obviously, if you've got something private, we do have one-to-one messages for that sort of stuff, but in general, it's in a group setting. Your training is going to be reviewed on a variable basis depending on what specific thing you're doing. So if you're someone where you're mostly working with us on a nutrition basis and training is just like a small afterthought, then we might only check in on your training once a month. If you're someone who's preparing for a powerlifting competition, we might be giving you video feedback each session 4 or 5 times a week. That's going to vary based on what your goals are and what we think you need at the time. And then one-to-one coaching, our premium coaching, it's more so for people that are looking for that next level of like, they really want to get into the minutiae. It tends to be for people with medical issues or looking for rehabilitation after they've had surgery and that sort of thing. But it's a bit more hands-on. There's often we'll have video calls or video feedback to make sure that nothing's missed in communication. Like if you send an email and you can't quite get the point across, we'll just have video calls, and basically it's more intense feedback, if you like, and more contact with us. And then there are other potential options. If you're not sure what might be right for you, send us a message. I'll put all the information at the end of this video, or if you click below, there should be a link to our email address. So you're thinking, right, this is great, I'm one of those people that you can work with, I definitely want to do it. What do I do now? Payment is taken via our membership website. That means it's easy for you to manage and easy for us to manage. So it's an automated recurring payment, just as long as if you ever need to cancel it, I think you just need to give it 2 days notice. It just means that we're not chasing you up for payments. What you'll do is you'll sign up with the payments and then you'll fill in our new client form. As I've already mentioned, it'll give us lots of information on your background, what's going on. And then from there, we'll email you with details on how to access all of our content and your program. We'll get that up and running for you. In the meantime, usually we say to give us till the end of the week, whatever week we're on. We'll email you with some information on basically how to get started, all the stuff that you need to do to get the most out of working with us. And then we'll send you out your new plan once it's done. You get started, you give us feedback over time as things are going. We guide you in the right way towards your goals. You hit your goals, then either you say, right, fantastic, I'm done. And then you go off and do your own thing and you maintain it. You've figured out the sustainable plan and this is it now. Or we work on a different goal or work towards whatever it is that you want. You get awesome progress, we're very happy, and then that's it. If you want to refer friends, we do offer an affiliate scheme, so where you can earn a bit of money as well. And then that's basically the process on how it works. If you've got any more questions, feel free to get in touch with us. There's a link to our website on here. Send us an email with any questions. If you want to follow us on any social media, they're on the screen now. Thanks for watching this video, and if there's anything else you'd like to see, just let me know.